Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you might be watching this. Rev here today. I am glad that you're watching. I appreciate you joining me for this time of devotion. I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. I hope you're blessed today. I hope you're ready to be a witness for Jesus. If you're watching this during the evening, I hope you were a witness for Jesus today. I am reading to you today from the book of Jeremiah. This is chapter 20, and I'm going to read just about three verses, verses 7, 8, and 9. O Lord, you deceived me, and I was deceived. You overpowered me and prevailed. I am ridiculed all day long. Everyone mocks me. Whenever I speak, I cry out, proclaiming violence and destruction. So the word of the Lord has brought me insult and reproach all day long. But if I say I will not mention him or speak any more in his name, his word is in my heart like a fire shut up in my bones. I am weary of holding it in. Indeed, I cannot. May God add his blessing to the reading and hearing of his word today. Excuse me. Jeremiah, he's hurting. He's angry. You ever get angry with God? Jeremiah's angry here. When the Lord called Jeremiah as a prophet, God promised to protect him. If we go back to Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 8, we read this. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you, and I will rescue you, declares the Lord. So now, here we are 20 chapters later, 19 chapters later, and Jeremiah is feeling deceived. He has proclaimed God's message, but the only result that has been that every day Jeremiah experiences reproach and he experiences ridicule. Now, I'm sure that there are moments in your life, in all of our lives, when we're not overly fond of God and what he's doing. In spite of our commitment to him, life just hasn't turned out like we thought it should. Excuse me. Maybe your marriage is shaky. Maybe your children are rebellious. And like Jeremiah, we may feel like God just isn't being fair here. Now, Jeremiah, he tried to get back at God by refusing to prophesy. He says, I will not mention him or speak any more in his name. Think about that. I will not mention him or speak anymore in his name. But you know what? Deep inside Jeremiah, deep inside his heart, a fire burned. And finally, he just couldn't keep silent anymore. And you want to hear something? Want to hear something good? Want to hear some good news? God doesn't punish us for our anger. He simply rekindles the fire that he lit in our hearts. And we find that we can't stay angry with him. It reminds me of a story about a pastor who went to a gentleman's house who hadn't been to church in a long time. And as he went in, he was sitting there by the fire, and the pastor went in and sat down beside him, and Didn't say a word. They just sat there and watched the fire for a few moments, and then the pastor grabbed some tongs, and he reached in the fire, and he grabbed one of those coals, and he set it right on the edge of the hearth. And as they watched that coal, the glow in it began to fade until it turned pretty well completely black. And then he grabbed that tong and grabbed that coal and stuck it back in the fire, and it wasn't very long that it was burning red hot again. The pastor got up to leave, and the man that he went to visit looked at him and said, "Thank you for the sermon. I'll be there this Sunday." You know, we can grow cold. Those coals can get cold and turn black in our lives. But God can rekindle them. He just simply rekindles the fires that he lit in our hearts before. We can't stay angry with him. And as our hearts are warmed, we return to our mission. Our mission of loving those who have hurt us and trusting God with all that we have and all that we are. You see, when God's living message of forgiveness becomes fire in our bones, you also will feel compelled to share it with anybody and everybody, regardless of the result. I'm Pastor Mark. I love you guys. Go do something for Jesus. I'll see you tomorrow.